Okay, boom. And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast this evening. We have an incredible guest with us, one who is going to give us some information as well as some inspiration, and that is none other than our brother and Imam Sultan Muhammad, a magnificent musician, humanitarian, and just a good brother. First of all, assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yes, sir. This means a lot that you would take out time out of your busy schedule to come on the People's Podcast, sir. Okay, boom. The first question we want to know, sir, is when did you first hear the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad?
I first heard the teachers of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. My great uncles out of Chicago, Illinois, had heard the teachings. They were Masons, and they heard the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Whenever they came to Georgia, whenever they came down, they would share it with family members. And I was always interested in what they had to say. In those times when grown-ups was having a conversation, children would have to leave the room. So I would be sitting outside of the room because I wanted to hear. It was so enlightening. I guess I was probably the age of 10 or 11 years old. And I was so attracted to what they were saying. So my aunt came out the door and I was sitting out there. She tried to run me away. So my great uncle was saying, these teachers are for everybody. If you want to hear, let him come in. So that started my journey. And I thank Allah, because I never knew that that I become Muslim, and I didn't know that Allah makes Muslim, and how, when, and how, we don't know. And later on, I was in Chicago visiting with my family, and this was when Malcolm X was still with us at the time. They took me down to Detroit to hear him, and I was so excited hearing the teachings of Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And Malcolm was a straight shooter.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
His preaching, and everybody had to feel God. So when we came out the meeting, everybody would seem to be just so feared of coming out, knowing what to expect. But I wasn't. It didn't affect me like that. It wasn't later on until I actually found out what was their concern. Preaching on the making of the devil, and he would be destroyed in the last day. We were living in the last day. So that was those teachings then were fire and brimstone.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But coming up in the South, I knew that evil could not exist forever. And pretty much knew the harsh treatment that people were living under here in Georgia and across the country. But make no mistake about it. I mean, white people will let you know exactly how they felt. But it was a time that we was living that brought us to this day.
Yes, sir. And when you say in the South, what city were you living in?
I was actually staying in the suburbs here, but actually from Atlanta, Georgia. I was actually from Atlanta, Georgia, but I spent a lot of time with my grandparents over in Lithonia, Georgia. Both my mother's parents and my father's parents. So coming up, you spend a lot of time with your grandparents. And back then, Black people moved around like gypsies. We made it the best way that we could, which was another enlightenment in my life, because the wealth disparity always existed amongst our people in the society. But we found a way to not only coexist with white America and exist by the help of Allah with little or nothing, producing nothing for ourselves, It's a minor miracle. And it was confirmation to me that, Allah was with us even before we knew that Allah was God and Muhammad was his messenger.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, and thank everyone for watching. Sister Latasha sends the greetings to the Alaikum Salam family, and thank everyone who's watching. So you're in Atlanta. It's prior to 75. Did you ever get to hear or see the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad speak?
Yes, I think the first time I seen the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was in 1972 or 73, Savior's Day in Chicago. And the A-team, as we called it now, the honor guard back then, as they would bring him in, it was like they was in a wedge and they was be moving so fast, and everybody, long live Muhammad. The messenger is here. Long live Muhammad. I said, I know he's not moving that fast. But they would go and move into the platform, and when that wedge was open, he come on, Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man,
Yes, sir.
I mean, I thought my heart was gonna bust.
Mm.
I was 22, 23 at the time. That was the first time that I, would actually see him and hear the teachings. That was an experience that I never forget. But I remember when I went to Albany State University, and they had the farm down there in Dawson, Georgia, just right outside of Albany.
Yes, sir.
And the minister there was Brother Carlton. Minister Rockman had sent Brother Carlton down there to be the minister. Well, I knew him from here, but I didn't know at the time that he was the minister. So he saw me on the street selling the paper. He was selling the paper. I said, brother, what you doing down there? I said, I'm going to Albany State. The very next day, that's all the information that I gave him. So the very next day, he sent Brother Carl at the time, is Kareem, and his brother Yusuf, Ernest, to get me. I don't even know how they found out what dorm that I was in. I had somebody knocking on my door. It was on a Wednesday. And said, Brother Carlton sent us over here to get you. He wants you to come to the meeting. So went to the meeting, and I ended up staying on the farm that night. They asked me to. And the next day, I would get a first-hand glimpse of the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in the farm program then. It was so at the cannery, the cows, and the vegetables. Now, across the street, remind you, was the Caucasian farm. There was no comparison. The corn, I mean, to me then, it seemed like it was the height of it. That was a distinct difference. And that was a confirmation to me at an early age that this is the truth from your Lord. As if I needed a confirmation, Allah gave it to me. So, I'm still young and just, going to college and stuff like that. I'm trying to find my way and trying to get a confirmation. Am I in the right place? Or is this the right thing for me to do? So Allah will send me that confirmation that this is the truth beyond the shadow of a doubt. If you ever had any doubt in your mind.
Beautiful. Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. Well, how did you meet? Oh, and my uncle, Minister Jamil, says, Assalamu alaikum, soldiers. He says, thank you, Brother Imam, and go Rams. How did you come into contact with Minister Rahman?
Minister Rahman, he, I think it was 1966, '67,
Damn.
when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave him this post. I actually met Minister Rockman indirectly in Miami, Florida, but never met him personally. But anyway, he gave him the post here to be minister. It wasn't probably maybe 2 years later that we established a relationship with one another. Because Minister Rockman at that time was bigger than life.
Mm, mm,
In my mind, he carried himself that way. So you just didn't walk up on it or want to have a conversation. You gave him the greetings and you hope that he will give you the greetings back. I think his love of music and the arts, he found out that I was an artist and relationship began. Now, I would say around 69, something like that. I was in college prior to me being drafted into the service. You know, we would get to know each other, but that relationship wasn't solidified until I went to Vietnam and come back.
Yes, sir. And how did you get into becoming a musician?
Well, at a very early age, my father was an artist, was a musician, and my uncle had a big influence on my uncles and my cousins. So I started out playing clarinet in the band. And later on, once entering high school, I became the drum major, leader in the band. And so my uncle and my cousin, who were both were 2 years older than me, they watched over me. They was like my security. Because I became drum major at an early age when that was intimidating to upperclassmen who thought that they were supposed to they should have the opportunity. And maybe they should. But Allah didn't see it that way. I didn't know that he was preparing me for work and for leadership in any capacity to serve. I didn't know it then, but I know it now.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. And for those who are watching, what instrument do you play and how long have you been playing it?
I'm a woodwind specialist with emphasis on the saxophone. I play flute, oboe, bassoon, clarinet, some piano. I actually majored in music in college, so we had to have basic knowledge of the piano. And when I started playing the clarinet, I think I was 6th grade. 11. I was probably 11 years old.
That's deep. And a wind specialist, I never heard that term before. I like that. Wind specialist. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Woodwind specialist.
Woodwind specialist. Yes, sir. And what is your favorite performance that you've ever had?
You know, it's kind of difficult to pick one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But I can remember I was traveling throughout Europe with Bobby Bird. Bobby Bird was one of the Flames. If anybody listening, you know, they ever heard of James Brown and the Flames.
Of course.
Well, Bobby Bird was one of the Flames. And as the story goes, James Brown, when he got out of prison, he needed a place to stay and a job. So Bobby Bird allowed him to have both. A job in his band, which he was a drummer. And his mother gave him a place to stay. The rest is history. So to answer your question, one of the most memorable moments as an artist, I was traveling in Europe one year. I think this was back 92, 93. And we were somewhere in Germany. Might have been Hamburg, Germany, an outside concert. And the PA went out. Fred Wesley, who was a famous trombone player, he played in James Brown Band. He was playing with us. Him and Bobby Bird was great friends. The PA went out, and it went out, I would say, for about 30 minutes, maybe 35 or 40 minutes. Fred Wesley played through that whole time that the PA set had went out. And when it came back on, we was before about 70,000 people. That was the largest crowd that I ever played for at one time. And they just went ecstatic. And that moment, I say, this was another with the act of God for me to see that and witness how the music, how the influence that it has on the listener. Yeah, it was a great moment. I've had others, but if I could pick that one, that was one.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. And what's going through your mind when you are playing your instruments?
Well, first of all, this is God's music.
Yes, sir.
This is Allah's music. So I don't concentrate so much on myself because I've internalized so much in my growth and development. I call on Allah, I do it in the name of Allah, and I let go because I know it's not me. This is why we say, oh, praises is due to God.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It keeps us grounded. It keeps the arrogance and self-exaltation away. Because, whatever I'm playing and the music that comes out of me, I know it's not me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Beautiful, beautiful. And are there any people who inspired you to that's famous? Are there anybody famous who inspired you to want to be a musician?
When I was young, my mother, she was a great fan of Sam Cooke, Otis Redding.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Jackie Wilson and the Lagdale Officer. So she was playing these records. And I'm a vocalist too.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, yes, sir.
And so she was playing these records. So that was my first attraction. And then it was my uncle who played saxophone. I was a clarinetist. I played first chair clarinet. And he inspired me to play the saxophone. So when I started playing the saxophone, John Coltrane, Dexter Gordon, Coleman Hawkins. Those was my influence. David Fathead Newman and Hank Crawford, just to name a few. They had a big influence. We had a jazz station here in Atlanta, used to call the Purple Grotto. They only played jazz for an hour in the evening. So you know what, I would hear that. So it was very attractive to me.
Beautiful. Praise be to Allah. And my uncle Minister Jamil says powerful influences, and he said Lloyd Starworth and Bobby Bennett were the other flames. Excellent. I wanted to ask you. Okay, since you're a vocalist, what is? I never knew that. Do you did that help you and assist you with singing the prayer, or like saying the Al-Fatiha, or doing the call to prayer?
I would say it had a whole lot for me to make that transition or to get acclimated in Quranic recitation, because it's rhythm, it's melody.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that's a gift that Allah have given us all. It's not by chance.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He's given us all. I mean, and rhythm and melodies and harmonies. See, that's music that we hear in the wombs of our mothers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You hear rhythm, you hear movement. So it's a natural part of my consciousness. But to answer your question about with me being a singer, did it help me with the recitation of the Quran, with different ayats of the Quran? Yes, it did. And I tell any believer that actually have an inclination to do that, they will see if they start studying it. Like rappers, they it's just like they know it just like the back of their hand. Mm? So when they start just transforming that into the Arabic pronunciation, the Arabic recitation, so wow, I didn't know it was. Now I don't say it's an easy feat. I say it's something that when you want to have a passion about doing it, you will see that it's a part of your makeup. All of us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Bilal was the first muezzin
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
for the Prophet Muhammad, prayers and peace be upon him. And he's a black Ethiopian slave calling the believers
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
to the right worship of God. Now, bring it on up to today's time. We're the last line of defense for our people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's been blessed with this knowledge, blessed with this understanding, to call our people to the right worship of God. We are the Bilal. We are Bilal of today. Allah will fix it that way. It's not by chance.
Beautiful. Yes, sir. Okay, great. My next question for you was, we would see you Juma prayer, doing the call to prayer. Why was Juma prayer such an important thing for you to do every Friday, and how did that come about?
Well, in 2005, like I say, Mr. Rockman in 95, Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, was really trying to establish the Juma in the Nation of Islam. Okay, bring it up to I think it was in 95 that I decided to what I call come back home.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I was in the Islamic community under the leadership of Iman Muhammad, may Allah bless his soul.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And so I decided that I wanted to come back home in 1995. But Allah wouldn't allow it until 2005. I had, we planned and Allah planned.
That's right.
And certainly Allah he's the best of planners.
Yes, sir.
So I was getting out the hospital in 1905. I had been in the hospital about 10 days with peptic ulcers. And I had just Allah sent me on a spiritual journey. So I was thinking about writing my book. And I asked my daughter to bring the Quran down to the hospital. She brought the biggest Quran I had in the house. A deluxe. She brought the deluxe Quran.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I would read it, but it was like I was having some kind of out-of-body experience. You know what I mean? And I was internalizing stuff that I had never been able to internalize before. And I was reading, I decided that I was going to write my book, which I'm still working on, and my documentary. So when I got at the hospital, one of the first person I went to see was Minister Abdul Rahman.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
May Allah be pleased, ever be pleased with brother for the work that he had done, not only here in the South, but all over this country.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I was telling him about my experience when I was in the hospital. So he listened at me for a while. He said, when I finished talking, he didn't talk about my book. He said, "Brother, will you want to do the cookbook next week?" No, he asked me, "Will I do the cookbook next week?"
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I say, "Yes, sir." We come out of the environment. We hear and we obey.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
as I thought about this, I said, "Well, I'm thinking about a book. I have an opportunity to come before the believers. This is my book. This is a great part of my book." So to this day, I've ever thank Allah, using Minister Rahman and your father would give me the opportunity to do that. Because Minister Sharif had a great part in making that transition easy for me. You know what I mean? I got in the minister's class and Minister Sharif told me, Sultan, Brother Sultan, I think the best position for you is to be like a liaison between our community, the Nation of Islam, and the community of Iman Muhammad.
Praise be to Allah.
So that was, I thank Allah. I thank Allah for Minister Sharif. And because he didn't have to do that, I mean, and why he did it, Allah is the best known.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because all your father wanted to do at that time was continue to help the work of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in rebuilding this nation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, beautiful. We have 3 more questions for you, Sultan, and then you get to go. But we just want to have a quick 60-second commercial break for all of the sponsors of the People's Podcast this month. I want to thank, of course, continue to thank our guests, the incredible musician, artist, and Imam, Brother Sultan Muhammad. But also, I want to make sure that I thank all of the sponsors of this month's People's Podcast. If you'd like to be a sponsor or donor, please cash at the People's Podcast. I want to start with my brother, Rashad, Street Premier Media Production. He has a 4K camera and a drone. He does television and film editing. Please reach out to him. My sister, Miriam, ABC I Love Me, children's book and coloring book. Both are available on Amazon. Thank you very much, Sister Miriam. Make sure y'all get that. My sister, Naima, Stay On Point Dance Academy, LLC. She teaches ballet virtually to young girls all across the country. And she also teaches ballet in person in the studio right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Our brothers out of Los Angeles, the MTS Car Bros, any make, any model, any year, 30 to 50% off. Make sure you all shop with them if you all like a vehicle. Brother Kenneth, bow tie maker extraordinaire. He'll ship bow ties to you all across the country. Make sure you all support Brother Kenneth. Thank you very much, Brother Kenneth. Brother Enoch Muhammad out of Chicago, Hip Hop Detox. It empowers youth and young adults towards healthy lifestyle choices and a productive life using a holistic approach. Thank you very much, Brother Enoch. We're coming right back to our Brother Sultan, Brother Imam Sultan. AJAC Minds online school, ajacminds.com. If you all like to send your children to, don't want to send them back to the school during the pandemic, virtual school, teaching young kings and queens and raising gods. Thank you very much. Sister Latasha Muhammad, Queen is I, Poetry and Apparel. Sister Latasha Muhammad, amazing poetry and apparel. Thank you very much. Fresh and Clean LLC, freshandcleansanitizing.com. Our brother Aaron, Elevated Places Incorporated, Adult Counseling, Youth Counseling, Life Management, 229-344-1474. And Dr. Henry Carter right here in Atlanta, Georgia, King Henry's Turkey Legs. Brother Rashad Muhammad, COVID-19 Disinfecting Cleaning Services. My father's book, A Soldier in the Movement of Christ, AbdulSharif.com. And last but not least, my 2 books, Cleopatra and No Father, No Excuse, both of which are available on Amazon. Thank you all very much for your sponsorships and donations. Okay, back to you, Brother Imam. What advice would you give to future fathers?
Future fathers?
Yes, sir.
We have a great work now and ahead of us, but there's an ayat in the Quran. Surely my life, my sacrifice, and my death is all for Allah. Now, Honorable Elijah Muhammad would give us this as the opening prayer. At the time, we didn't know that this or the ayat from the Holy Quran. And to for future fathers to be very conscious of the responsibility
Mm.
that has been given to us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, highly glorified is He.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's because that responsibility is one that hasn't been given to no people in the eyes of history. Not only to deliver the teachings that and the revelation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but have a passion about it and to stand firm on it. It's a challenge today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
But
sir.
Allah said, do you think that you would be allowed to enter paradise
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
without being tested or tried? And as the Allah say, as the messenger and all his companions were tried. And he cried out, when will the help of Allah come?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The help of Allah is always near.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
So I guess I'm answering your question. We have a great responsibility, I think, but to be conscious of our responsibility to our family and to our community. It helps us to grow as men, that responsibility. Have no fear. Allah say, for the believer, he shall have no fear, nor shall he grieve. We're going through this pandemic, but to me, you know what that is, brother? Allah said that he will afflict nations with adversity.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And pain, so that they may humble themselves.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now we're seeing arrogance like we've never seen before, the world over.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, for the believer that should have no fear, nor shall they grieve. Do we really believe that? That's not a question that any of us in the viewing, who's ever viewing, have to ask. We should go deep within ourselves.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because there's no vaccination, no mask wearing, or anything else that will prevent the plague of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Oh, yes, sir.
Now I don't say that to not do all of these, do the things that to protect ourselves and our family.
Yes, sir.
Stay
Yes, sir.
clean as you possibly can. We pray 5 times a day.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Or
sir.
should anyway. So we cleaning ourselves, we preparing ourselves. So what the Muslims say, inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un, or inna lillahi wa inna lillahi raji'un. We come from Allah, we will return to Allah. Now I'm not trying to get out of here. I believe that Allah has plenty of work for me to do. He has plenty of work for us to do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But I know I come from Allah, and I will return to Allah. So I don't have no fear of an open enemy that we're dealing with. And maybe we come a long ways. We got a long ways to go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we are where we are today by Allah's grace.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, sir. And my next question for you is, what would you like your legacy to be, sir?
I would like for people to know me as a worker, that, in any capacity that I'm asked, I just want to serve. So servitude. And I would like for people that they know me for nothing else, to know me that brother he was a worker in the cause of Islam. And that he would serve the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan today in whatever capacity, you know, that's my leader. I don't, you know, I cut through the chaser with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's to say, in other words, I said cut through the chaser, I make it plain.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah.
You know, Allah has inspired brothers for us
Yes, sir. Yes,
today.
sir.
You know what I mean? And everybody should have somebody, you know, you talk to people, they all got their man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, you got your man, you don't want me to have mine.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's my leading teacher at this time. And I thank Allah, forever thank Allah for it.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, I want to thank you very much, sir, for coming on the People's Podcast. I want to thank everyone for watching. This is Joshua Leonard Muhammad signing off for the People's Podcast. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam to Allah.